waiting for Baccarat, and that goes in! Hugo Baccarat gives Flint City a 3-2. Buckley, oh, the ball falls to Buckley. One-on-one with Etheridge. What a save!
Welcome into the first ever MSN All-State Media Day for girls soccer. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat.
Ball comes in, a good head! 1-0! Shot, another save from Etheridge! Rebound, and it goes in the back of the net. The Bulldogs up 1-0! Burzma, but then for Vlasma! 3-0! Stewart Heights with a shot! Upper 90 and in!
Effectively today here on the Michigan Soccer Network, we are launching our new division of player recruitment videos.
Mario Canoe now finds Sock. Finds Sock's got a left-footed banger. He shoots it! It's in! The Red Hawks equalize!
All right, and now I am joined by Mark Soma, the head boys and girls varsity soccer coach at Royal Oak Shrine High School. And Mark, welcome back to the Michigan Soccer Network.
Thanks for having me. Nice being here.
It is a pleasure. We are in the company of a historical coach, Mark Soma. And the reason why I say that, you've been at Shrine now for almost 23 years on the boys' side, 19 plus years on the girls' side. You were inducted into the Royal Oak Shrine Hall of Fame here last year. But we're looking to talk about 2024. You're off to a good, solid start, 5-2-2. You're ranked in the Michigan High School Soccer Coaches Association once again in Division 4. Start off by expectations so far for this season.
Staying healthy. We're having a rough go with health. We're having a good season. This week will be a indicator for us of how we're gonna fare. We're missing 3 starters due to various injuries, so this week will be a good test for us. We have some serious competition this week.
You know, that you do. Looking at your overall schedule and seeing the opponents that you guys have faced off against, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, which is a Division 2 program, 1-0 loss. Very, very good outcome, even though I know you lost. But looking at what their Division 2, when you go up against the opponents that have a much larger school size and more talent to choose from, it can be difficult to manage those games. And you guys held up strong against that program, and they're on the rise. Obviously, they went around for a couple of years. I know that's a CHSL matchup as well for the league. But this past Saturday, and I know you made some comments on Instagram about this matchup against Berkeley and the resilience of your side, and I want you to touch on that a little bit. You mentioned you're missing some starters, but due to health and injuries and whatnot. But Berkeley, a good opponent, coming out there with a 1-1 tie.
Solid performance. We normally don't change formations very often. Went to a 4-5-1, and told the girls I didn't really. I told Berkeley coach before the game, I'm sorry, we're in the shape we're in. We're probably going to sit in on you because of our health. Sat down with the girls before kickoff, kind of ran through where we were going to play, who was going to play what positions, did a quick briefing on what to do. And coaches all agreed it was a good idea. So we sat in a little bit, made it difficult for them. I think we frustrated them a lot in the first half. We got a great set play goal off of Allah. And to be honest with you, I think even their coach would tell you, I think I've heard it from a few of their fans, we deserved to win. The penalty shot that was called against us was a little questionable. And girls played great though. They battled. They were exhausted at the end of the game. It was a good performance from basically our 12, 13 girls who played in the game.
Well, yeah, and when you talk about, again, we just mentioned the Division 2 side of this with Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and that was a league game against Orchard Lake St. Mary's back on the 11th of April. This is a non-league Division I opponent, and again, just talking about the size of the schools. I'm not sure the enrollment of Royal Oak Shrine, but my guess is it's under 500.
We're like 250, 50 if we're lucky.
And I think Berkeley, 7 times that, give or take, 1,500 plus kids. I mean, again, just the talent coming in for tryouts alone is probably double to what you would, triple to what you might see. So that plays a
Yeah.
huge factor when it comes time when you're talking about matching up against an opponent. And again, a 1-1 draw against a Division I opponent it's very good. And even you mentioned, hey, it could have been a game in which we won that game, and due to obviously a penalty shot that was called against you guys, but. You got to talk about that because, again, Mark, you've been doing this for a long time. The game of soccer has changed quite a bit. It's gotten faster. You guys have a turf field. All of those things, with specifically in the girls' game, have gotten so much different over the years. You should talk on that a little bit and just in how you're able to still be very competitive in those environments where you're placing up against opponents who are larger and have more talent available to them.
Like every year I tell the girls when we take the field, I want them to feel like they're going to be the best team. It's got to be our mentality, our philosophy. We do that by mixing in, we have less people. We have less people in our school probably than Berkeley had at their tryouts for their team, for girls. But our mentality is, I have 3 freshmen starting every game, and they're performing beyond expectations, right? And those 3 girls will start for the next 4 years and perform at a high level and just keep getting better. And I want to keep our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade pool that we have coming to us. We're lucky to have that. I want those girls to understand they can come and win state championships and be on field contributing right away.
Well, speaking of state championships, you guys obviously had a chance back in 2022 against Kalamazoo Christian. You won 1-0 in a state championship game and came away with an unbelievable title, right? And then last year falling short, against a Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett side that in its own right was probably on its path to a state final and fell short on their own. But you guys are no stranger to long-term, long success in the playoffs. Obviously doing that again in Division IV against the likes of teams like Bishop Foley and Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett. I mean, Kalamazoo Christian, those are teams that are just every year in the conversation, along with Royal Oak Shrine. How are you able to continue that? I know you said, hey, we're going to walk out on the field with the best team on this given night, but it's one thing to say. It's another thing for every single time you guys go out there, and do it.
Girls do it. I don't do it. I mean, we make tweaks, we make adjustments. The girls perform though. I mean, that's the secret is that the girls buy in. They work hard for each other, and kind of the philosophy from the get-go every year.
You've obviously been here for many years. You've seen the game change. You've seen the way the players change. As a coach, what have you had to do to adjust to the new player in 2024? Players are different today than they were 20 years ago.
Yeah, now I have to. My assistant coaches try and keep me in check. I sit down in my chair a little more often. I still talk a lot. In fact, my wife yells at me because I go to my son's game and I talk the entire time at the games. I'm not necessarily coaching. During the games, but I'm talking to myself the entire time about talking to the bench about what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. Yeah, it's I don't know that it's different, but it's also not different. You're still bonding with your team. You're still you want to become friendly with them. You want them to be enjoy being on the team, but you also want to push them at the same time. And you also have to understand. They have to understand that it's the hard work that makes us competitive and makes us have those runs and have good seasons.
Yeah, no question about that. Mark, we obviously, from the standpoint of where me and Dan sit here each and every week, ranking shows and covering high school soccer, there is a lot of parity that happens within the leagues, the conferences across the state, and obviously just being able to manage that. I'm sure on your side, you're seeing things as you're very well ingrained in the soccer community here locally in the high school world. There's a lot of teams out there that are I look at a Royal Oak Shrine. They're on their, there's an asterisk there every year. Hey, we go out there. Our goal is to beat that team. There's always kind of like a target, so to speak, when you have teams that have been successful over a long period of time. How does your team? How do you manage that side of it? Because I'd imagine on some level, I know you have this conversation. Hey, we're the best team on this given night, but you have teams coming at you. They're in they're in their crosshairs.
Yeah, it's good to have that. Right. And I tell the girls that it's good. It's, it's if a coach comes up and says, hey, we want to play you because we know you're going to be good. That's a compliment to the girls, right? It's a compliment to the people who have got us to that point. Over the years, we've had a lot of people work hard to make our program good. We have a lot of good coaches, a lot of supportive fans, and it's great to have that ability to have the asterisk.
No, for sure. Oh, so two final questions here for you. This question really in regards to just again another look at the team and overall thoughts. Bonding is one of the I would say is still probably a tremendous challenge in today's world, just with schedules and with what the demands of the real world. Getting the players to come together to find a way to be unified, not only for one game but an entire season, could be one of the bigger challenges that coaches could have here in 2024. What do you do as a coach to get your team to form that bond and working with your captains and your coaches to help, kind of guide that ship towards cohesiveness and both on and off the field?
Team dinners, fun practices. Once we get into the heart of the season, we don't really, after the first month of the season, really, we try and make practices a little less demanding. We're not pushing them as hard at practice necessarily now. Well, we might be now, but not in the next couple of weeks. After this next couple of weeks, we won't be. And now we have a full-time athletic trainer. We have helps us try and stay healthy. We have a strength and conditioning coach at Shrine full-time now that we do weight training twice a week. We've never done that before. That pulls the girls together. We always try and have at least one. Muskegon's been our usual trip. So this weekend we go to North Muskegon. We spend the night there. We hang out as a team. We let the girls do bonding stuff together and try and make it kind of the captains every year do a good job of making sure the freshmen and sophomores feel like they're included right away. And that makes a huge step in the process.
Okay. No, that's good. It's good to know. Obviously, team dinners are a great way to do that. And obviously, this North Muskegon trip is going to be fantastic for the team to come together. And, if there was one thing that you wanted anyone who's watching this to take away about Royal Oak Shrine, a defining word or a way to describe this team, this program, what would that be?
I don't know. I think our school philosophy is faith, family. What is it, boys? Faith, family, pride. Faith and family probably are the two I would say are pretty good philosophies.
No, they really are. You guys have a busy schedule this week coming up here on Tuesday. You're away at Madison Heights Bishop Foley, away at Macomb Lutheran North, away at North Muskegon. So a very, very difficult schedule ahead of you here over the next this next week. And then again, you come back and you face home on May the 7th against Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett. So a tough schedule ahead of you here over the next couple of weeks. But we look forward to seeing what you guys do and here, hopefully seeing you in the Catholic League Finals on May the 18th. That's what we'll be covering the Michigan Soccer Network. Mark Soma, thank you very much for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon. And we appreciate all you do for soccer here in the community.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.